Good morning, students. It's good that I could come to you to give you some help with your study of the texts in this course, West Indian literature. I'll make it a habit of coming to you and providing introductory information once every week. For this week, I'll look at the slides that I prepared and I gave you, and I'll walk you through them. I've probably rearranged them a little so that things are going to flow better. Next Monday, we're going to have a Zoom meeting where we could communicate with each other and find out how comfortable we are so far with the way the course is delivered, West Indian Literature 1. So now, you're embarking on your studies of white Sargassum, and I'll give you the rest of this week and hope that you get to complete your reading. Information that I have on this slide is taken from a particular website. And so the website is here, and you'll find it in the PowerPoint presentation I gave you last week. Now, here I have just some introductory information on what really this word Sargassum alludes to. What is the meaning? And so when you read it, you find out that it's a sea. And I've given you the source. It's from Wikipedia there. And why are we focusing on Sargasso? Because to some extent, it might be symbolic in the text. And when you work out your symbolism, consider that it's a place where the ocean currents meet. And that is where the seaweed is produced. See how that could be applied to the text if necessary. Here you have a map showing you the movement of the ocean currents. And here you have an example of what the Sargassum weed looks like. And here provides you with not a map with some information on the relationship among Britain, the Caribbean, and Africa. And it's important because, yes, the novel deals with tensions that arose soon after the emancipation of slaves. And so slavery involved Britain, the Caribbean, and Africa. So also consider the transatlantic crossing and what are the real terrors and what are the imagined terrors. Here I have another map, and it shows you the entire Caribbean Sea, North Atlantic Ocean there, the Gulf of Mexico. On this side, it's the Pacific Ocean. And of course, you'll find Guyana down at the bottom here. You need to locate those islands that feature in this text. White Sargasso Sea. Jamaica is one island that features. So when you're reading, try to get hold of that information. All right, so here I've given you some texts that are going to help you with your understanding. This one here, Dreamer Monkey Mountain, it's going to be important when we come towards the end of our course. But the other three are important. And here I have the referencing manuals that you should use. This one is the MLA. And all students who are doing a degree in English and its arts or humanities, you need to use the MLA. This one here is a copy of the APA. And this one is used by all education students. And so, I'm introducing White Sargasso Sea to you. And maybe I want to chunk it. It's not a nice thing to dissect a novel, but I've come to learn that once you're going to read it and study it, you will have to take the parts and try to understand in parts and then put it back together to get the whole. So we always working with the parts and the whole. So take it as beginning, middle, and end. Beginning, middle, and end. And in the beginning, here are some themes that you focus on: childhood and adolescence. And I've got them all here. Mothers and daughters. Christophine and Antoinette. And maybe here you'll say, quote unquote, surrogate mother daughter. Look at the alter ego. Look at the images, the mirror images. And I've given you all the meaning, and I've placed the site where I took some information from. And here we're in the middle of the text, and we're after the fire. And so Antoinette had been ill. Try to find out what kind of illness. She visits her mother and she finds out something. What is it she finds out? She's going to school at the convent. Try to find out how life at the convent influences her life. Examine the images. And I'm going to just go through swiftly because there are a number of slides here. The middle of the text, we're also looking at themes of race, class, gender, money, marriage. And maybe how each one of these impacts on marriage. And so now look at mothers and daughters again, but also pay attention to fathers and sons, husbands and wives, sons and daughters, the Cosways, the Masons, the unnamed son, the unnamed husband. Examine characters of husbands and wives. How compatible are husbands and wives in marriage? What about black and white issues? And there is a large theme of sex or sexuality. And so dig into the novel and see what you find out about Antoinette's marriage and sex. The honeymoon house. Examine the irony of this term, honeymoon. Examine the husband's response to people and landscape. What is the relationship with Amelie? And there is something going on about sex and obia. See if you could unravel what's happening there. There is some symbolism at work in the novel, and you should try to penetrate and see how it works. How is colibri symbolic? How is the landscape symbolic? How is the tree of life that Antoinette refers to symbolic? Why the free slaves burned the house? What is symbolic of the burning of the parrot? Locate all the symbols and discuss how they work in the text. For example, look at Pierre as the child who is special or differently able, and his demise or tragic end. So there are also tragic themes in this text. At the end now, Antoinette is locked in a room and the setting moves to England. And so I want you to examine what you gather from dreams and dreaming, counting money, drinking alcohol. There's a lighted candle, lighted lamp, there's sunlight, there's candlelight. See what you make of the color red, the symbolism of the red dress. Is there a ghost haunting the place? What is your take on this thing about ghosts? What is symbolic of a falling, burning parrot image at the beginning of the text, and then there is another burning image, and it occurs at the end of the text. See what you make of the relationship there with the beginning and the end. And there is this theme of obia or black spirituality. Dig in and see what you find about it. Read. And for this text, you're required to go and read beyond this novel. So if you provide me with an answer that's just telling me what happens in the novel, it's not going to be the best answer. So go read up about what it is about Obia. Go read up about slavery and the emancipation and how it affected people. There is another theme that you need to give much attention to. It's sometimes called quote unquote madness. And I would challenge you to write a definition of what is madness, your own working definition. So by the end of this week, your own working definition of madness. But you would not be sending it to me for me to mark, because I'm marked just about 15 out of the 60 essays you sent me last Friday. So it's impossible for me to mark anything else. So you might be saying, I don't need to do it. Well, the task is for you to find ways of opening up your understanding. So even if I don't get a chance to mark it, the motivation should be there. Write a paragraph defining madness. And please don't go to the Oxford Dictionary for your definition. No Oxford Dictionary, no primary school definitions. Go get a psychology text. Go and read something on the internet. Go and read some journal. I must say, in my marking, I found some beautiful quotations from journal psychology, right? And the psychology of laughter. So give me some of that and let me enjoy my marking. All right? Here we're at the nature of mental illness. How do you associate drinking wine, drinking rum with mental illness? And even today it continues in the form of suicides, and we probably glorify it when we sing rum till I die, rum till I die. But you need to penetrate, check carefully the nature of mental illness. And there are several threads of narratives, the letters, the gossip, and the dreaming. See if you could work with it and find out what are the various narrative perspectives. You also should form your own opinion. Thank you.